Steve Popavich and Al Markic as your host. And Steve,
I think I messed that last thing up. I think people thought they had to be from Greene County or calling from Greene County or Fayette County today. It's if you lived there in the past and you now live in northern Ohio, we want to hear from you.
Yes, okay, once again,
286-1560. All right, Al.
Or 1-800-946-1560.
Great.
Any place, Cleveland, Akron, wherever.
Canada.
Yeah, well, we get to Canada, too.
I know. That's right. A lot of Pennsylvania people moved up there.
That's right.
Come on, you Pennsylvania people. Let's hear it.
And what I did, Steve, since we had to go into the news and cut that tune off, I recycled it back over, and we can do it again so we can get the full tune.
Yeah.
So, folks, give us a call here, 286-1560 or 1-800-946-1560. Win yourself a CD.
And a great-looking poster, that cover artwork.
And it is. The artwork is great. Really nice. I understand you gave one to Wayne Habit, the original. Did you?
No, John Habit, we gave an original. We had copies, like 20 copies made that look sort of like one of them placemats at a restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
And we had one of those made. Oh, the phones are ringing.
Phone's ringing. Somebody's on the line.
We gave those away. And we're also thinking about making those placemats and advertising everybody having to do with polkas on it around the outside edge of this and using those placemats at Sturley's, at Fanny's, or, you know, any of the Slovenian ethnic restaurants that don't want to use it, you know.
Well, I would like to get one of those posters.
Absolutely, Al.
For my studio down in the basement.
Absolutely.
Where I do a lot of...
I think once people see this thing, they're going to just, they're going to love it.
Right,
I mean,
right. All right, I'll tell you what, before we go to music, once some more here, I want to give this out. Glazbina Matica, they're going to have their fall concert Saturday, November the 2nd, 1996, and it's at St. Clair Slovenian National Home, 6417 St. Clair Avenue. Cocktails are at 5 p.m., serving is at 6 p.m., and it's a buffet supper. Music will be by Fred Zwick Orchestra, which is a very good band. Admission tickets are $15 and can be obtained from Glazbina Matica members or by calling Eileen Ivancic, 946-0002. That's 946-002. Okay, and now, Steve, we can resume.
All right, we're going to go back to Živeli Braća?
Yeah, we'll go back to that one because, like I say, we only got a little portion of it. We had to go into the news, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay?
Živeli Braća, Živeli Sestre, Johnny Krasancic, and Frank Yankovic from Frank Yankovic and Friends album.
The music fills the air, our lives are full and free. When people dance so merrily, our faces shine with glee. When we hear songs of happiness and shouts of V-I-O, long live our brothers, long live our sisters, Živeli, živio. Živeli braće, živeli sestre, živeli, živio.
And that was Živeli braće, živeli sestre.
Yeah, that was sung many a night down at Sim6.
Oh, yeah.
You, boy.
And how?
The whole joint used to sing along to that. Well, I'll tell you what, we got winner number 7, and I'll tell you, Al, it's really ironic. Because we were talking about United Mine Workers Hall, Nemacolin, PA, being on the cover. Who should call from Greene or Fayette County but Eddie Zadell, who's related to another Zadell family who are from Nemacolin. Eddie's dad and Joe is the barber. And
right, Joe's my barber. I went
to school with his sister Sheila Zadell. We're all from Nemacolin. But these two Zadells, although they're not related, their fathers grew up together in Slovenia and both moved to the States and ended up in Nemacolin, in our big-time coal mining town there, you know? It's very interesting.
So congratulations.
Yeah, Eddie, congratulations. He's out in Wycliffe, Al. That's numbers, that's seven records, 7 different towns.
Wonderful.
I'll tell you, you're worldwide here, buddy.
Oh, well, we enjoy that.
Yeah. We're going to have a poster, like I say, it'll be done at the end of next week, Eddie, so you'll be getting yours after we get the posters, and we'll make sure we put that in. Everybody else, we're going to mail your stuff out this week.
And Joe the Barber, I'll probably see you next week.
That's right, Joe the Barber.
Yeah.
Mr. Buckeye. We need a Pennsylvania club up here in Northern Ohio. Everybody from Pennsylvania need to have a club.
There is a club. There was a club.
There was?
Zeke and Charlie had the Christmas parties.
The Carlton Club.
The Carlton Club, right.
What's a Carlton? That ain't nothing to do with Pennsylvania.
So they were all from Pennsylvania.
Carlton, they called it. Why don't they call Pennsylvania Club?
Well, I don't know. Is there a town?
I think we need to start a Pennsylvania club. Maybe there is a Carlton.
Maybe there's a Carlton town in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, maybe there is. Maybe we need to start a Pennsylvania Christmas club or Pennsylvania club, and we'll have another big Christmas deal this Christmas.
Yeah. Too bad I can't play anymore.
Oh, the heck you can't, buddy.
Oh, my hands are shot.
Hey, Al, those hands will never be shot, buddy.
They're shot.
2 kielbasis, a shot of Schlivovitz, and you're going to be rocking, buddy.
Sure. Which way?
Hey, the only way. Up.
Yeah, up, Sure.
Yeah, you will.
Uh-huh. Okay, tell us a little bit about this next one. This is number 1. I guess this is the last one on the
Actually, this
CD.
closes the album. I was down at Seven Springs back in those Pennsylvania hills once again. July 4th weekend, Eddie Blazonczyk had his big Polish polka thing there, which, for anybody who hasn't been to this, which I had never been, you believe that?
Is that right?
Old as I've been, and I'm from Pennsylvania, I'd never been to Seven Springs. But anyhow, yeah, we got this, we got a Greatest Hits album out on Eddie.
Well, you haven't lived.
International. You know what? I really haven't now. You're right. But I go back to this thing over the 4th of July. It was unbelievable. He had like 10, 11,000 people over 3 days. He had 20 bands, as you know.
Yeah.
And it was just fabulous. But anyhow, Lenny Gomulka's on stage, and he and Eddie do this song that Lenny had written about all the years he played with Eddie, called For Old Time's Sake. So I'm like a dummy. I'm standing in front of the stage. I'm looking around. Everybody's got their arms up in the air going nuts when they're doing this song. And there's a lot of people with tears in their eyes. I listened to the lyrics. I said, this is perfect to close our album, Because it's like the story of Joey and Frank. I mean, Joey, as you know, was quit high school or whatever it was, or grade school even maybe. Who knows? To go on the road and play with Frank. How old was Joey then? About 13,
I think
14?
Joey, I think, was 12 or 13 when he started with Frank. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Right.
And it's the story of their relationship through the years with Lenny and Eddie is the same as Frank and Joey. So I sent this tune down to Joey. I said, Joe, this is the perfect close for the album. So here's Joey Miskulin and Frank Yankovic doing For Old Time's Sake.
Have passed by since I stood side by side with an old friend and sang out a song. A good friend to me, and man, could we sing, we'd harmonize all night long. We played every hall, we'd been through it all. I remember the good times we shared before the memory fades. And for old time's sake, let's get together and sing one more song.
That's nice, Steve. I like that.
Yeah, what a song, huh?
Boy, and that Joey can sing, too.
Oh, yeah.
Not only play.
Yeah, this song was the IPA Song of the Year, and Lenny won the Album of the Year with this,
right?
the title song, For Old Time's Sake.
Beautiful tune.
Yeah, just a great song. It kind of says it all and sums up the album. And, yeah, I'll tell you what, though, we got to go out on a happy note here, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, what do we got, about 12 minutes here to go?
Well, we got about 13 minutes, 14 minutes, yeah.
Well, this is a song. I don't know how many people have heard this song, but, we got a hillbilly.
I'll tell you what, before we go into that song,
okay,
let me do the commercials.
Go for it,
and we'll get that out of the way, and then we can finish up.
Okay.
And we're back once again with the Polka Showcase. Your host, Al Markic, and Steve Popavich, our guest, who brought us that new CD, Frank Yankovic and Friends, Song of the Polka King.
That's it.
And we had the chance and the pleasure of premiering it from one end to the other. We had a chance to talk to Frank and Ida Yankovic, which was nice. Well, we had a good program.
It was a good one. Very good one, Al. I thank you very much, by the way, for having me on.
It's a pleasure.
I don't like doing these kind of things, because I don't think I'm any kind of disc jockey
Well,
or
I'll tell
announcer.
you,
You know.
I didn't used to go around to these places either. They used to invite me, and I figure, what for? What do you need me for? Yeah.
But yeah, but right now, I'll tell you what, we're real happy about this record. Like I say, it's out at Record Den in Menor Mall, and Best Buys. It's on sale at the Polka Hall of Fame, and would appreciate all the support out there. Thanks very much for all this initial support. You know, Al, I got another act on my label called Roger Martin. He's that old country singer that's bounced around here for a lot of years, you know, and who's originally from West Virginia.
Oh, yeah? Not
Yeah, his mother's
Pennsylvania, huh?
Italian, but...
He's not Pennsylvanian?
No, he's not Pennsylvanian. But we did a song on his album called The Night Frank Yankovic Came to Town, because everybody back in Nemacolin used to talk about, you know, the night Hawkshaw Hawkins came to town and the night Frank Yankovic came to town. Well, oddly enough, this buddy of mine in Nashville had written this song, and we put these lyrics to it and made it the night Frank Yankovic came to town. And it talks about Nemacolin, PA, when he came to Buckeye as a nickname for Nemacolin, you know.
I got to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is Nemacolin?
Hey, you know, that's what a lot of people want to know. But I'll tell you what, 60 miles south of Pittsburgh, and at one time in the 40s, it was the model mining community in America.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was owned by the Youngstown Sheet and Tube Company, one of them company towns. They had a company store, and it was a town of 500 people. We had the old side and we had the new side, you know, and then we had Boss's Row, and you know, we used to call ourselves, we were the hunkies from the old side, you know. Anybody who was Polish or Slovenian, Serbian, Croatian, or Italian, you know, or Greek, we were the hunkies, you know. And the other side of on the new side lived, you know, the WASP, you know, the English, Scots,
the rich,
Irish, and
the
all
rich.
those. Well, the rich lived on the Boss's Row, you know. So there were about 3 little rivalries going at all times. But we were the hunkies, you know.
You know, I never heard of that town until you mentioned it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you,
I've been all around Pennsylvania.
Well,
Never
Carmichael's is right nearby there, Uniontown, Waynesburg, that whole Greene County area, you know. Yeah. And back when, like we were talking earlier, when the mines went down, and my dad died my senior year in high school, he worked in them mines, and I graduated from high school, and we came here because, I mean, the mines were down to 1 day a week working. So you either had to be a football player, go to college, or come to Cleveland and get a job down in the mill, or go to Washington, D.C., you know, and... But Nemacolin, it's always held a warm place in my heart, and we did this song on Roger's album called The Night Frank Yankovic Came to Town, which he did come to Nemacolin and played at the VFW Hall in the 50s. And my aunt and uncle remember going there, and I says, well, look, Sophie and Pete, did I go there? He says, Stevie, you cried your eyes out. You wouldn't let your mom and dad go. That's how spoiled you were when you were a kid. They couldn't even go to see Frank play, you know. So, but they said, yeah, he was there twice, and the show was great. So we did this song. We recorded this album with Roger live at C-Bars down on 185th. Right. And we did The Night Frank Yankovic Came to Town, and it talks about my buddy Milos Kowalski serves Red Star Inn. He's got a beer joint back there that all the miners go to, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's mentioned in here, too.
You ever go back there?
I was just there last weekend.
Were
Went back there for a football game. Carmichael's High School played Monessen, and Monessen wailed on our boys, but it was the first time I took my son and his girlfriend, who's Jamie Kusar, who's Joe Kusar's granddaughter, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, small world, huh?
Yeah, it sure is.
But we were back there, went to the football game, Monessen Carmichael's, and then we went to Seven Springs, and then we went fishing up by Waynesburg, you know.
You know Joe Kusar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you know that his brother lived upstairs from my folks on Westrup?
Unbelievable.
And they would come over, Joe would come over with his gang, the trio, and they would practice, and my dad would tell him, don't go upstairs, stay down here, and he would run downstairs, get his homemade wine, bring it up, and they would rehearse. Maybe that's where it rubbed off on me.
Pretty unbelievable.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows where it came from, but I'll tell you, it's something, like I said, I've been in the rock and roll business, the country business. This music has always stayed real close to my heart because it's the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if somebody up here had some money and some in the wherewithal to do it, I really think that this whole Cleveland, Northern Ohio polka scene, food, the whole thing, the ethnic culture should be tied together much the same way that the Tejano Texans have tied their thing together, the Cajuns in Louisiana. You think of Louisiana, you think of Cajun music and food. Well, to me, a lot of these bands up here beat the Cajun thing, you know, and the food is just as good. So
yeah, well, we have good food, good bands.
That's it, hey.
Yep.
Yeah, good wineries too.
Absolutely.
That they don't have.
Absolutely.
But here's The Night Frank Yankovic Came to Town.
Harry was our president. A Coke and burger cost $2.30. I was still in love with Mavis Brown. On the night Frankie Yankovic came to town, I Love Lucy debuted on TV. That was one big event we didn't see, 'cause no one stayed at home for miles around. On the night Frankie Yankovic came to town, Mama ironed my shirt and Daddy let me take the truck. We drove on out to Buckeye and picked old Mavis up. We hit that Red Star in for one quick round. On the night Frankie Yankovic came to town.
And Frankie Yankovic came to town.
That's right, buddy. He came to a lot of those towns, and so did you, Al.
Yeah, you're right.
You had much the same kind of career as Frank here, really. Playing all in towns across America.
Not
and
quite as much as
bringing a lot
him.
of smiles to faces, huh?
You're right. You're right. Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. We got 2 minutes here. I got to say thanks very, very much.
Thank you, Al. I
for
appreciate
coming.
you having me on here.
I enjoyed it. I got enlightened. I learned of a new town in Pennsylvania.
That's right, buddy.
Yeah.
That's right. And you better not forget that. Now, I better not see no Nemacolin T-shirts. Somebody be out there selling Nemacolin shirts or something.
You're right. You never know. Yeah. So, thanks again for coming.
Okay, Al. Thank you.
And I'll tell you what, I'll call you one of these days, and
Great.
I'll meet you over at the coffee shop. We'll have
that's right. A little
cup
decaf.
of coffee, a little decaf and a donut.
How boring, huh? Once you get over, I mean, low fat, decaf. Oh man,
That's what happens.
Give me. I'm going. You know what? I'm going down to St. Clair right now. I'm buying a pound of smoked kielbasa.
Oh yeah.
That's it. I'm going down to Zagreb Meat and Malensik and Ashman. I'm going to get
Next
from
time
all
you
three.
need good kielbasa,
Okay.
let me know.
Okay. Hey.
I get it through Jake Zager's uncle, boy.
Oh, I had that from Pennsylvania. He used to bring it to
sure. I still got
Sim6.
about 30 pounds at home.
Okay, yeah. You know
yeah,
what, Al?
that's good stuff.
I love these guys down St. Clair. But, yeah, we got to have a big kielbasa festival. Why don't they have
Yeah,
that?
one of these days we'll have one.
You know?
You're right.
Kielbasa cook-off.
Yeah.
Who needs these ribs, man? Ribs ain't our thing. Kielbasa is.
Kielbasa is. You're right. Well, okay, once again, Steve, I got about 10 seconds.
Go ahead, Al.
Thanks again for coming. Like I say, I got enlightened. I enjoyed your company and your visit, and I will see you at the coffee shop one of these days.
All right.
Serving you with news and weather every 30 minutes. This is 1560 WATJ in Chardon.